Devil horn salute. Good morning. If you've never done this before, it's like a wake and bake. Happy Sabbath, the 7-day Sabbath. That's right. Sundown Friday night to sundown Saturday and all points in between. Thank you. Welcome. Are you a vile, degenerate sinner? Every swinging dick on the planet is. You are definitely in the right place today. We like all sinners here. And we play with snakes online. That way nobody gets bit, nobody gets hurt, nobody has to die. What a way to start the day, a handful of snakes. See, church could be fun. Depends on where you're going. We'll get things set up here, gang. Orange salute, protection for that nasty old mean old devil, and welcome all vile, degenerate sinners to the Outlaw online snake church, the living branch. Again, this is, if you've never watched this before, it's basically a wake and bake. I wake up on the Sabbath morning, I scoop cat shit, feed cats inside and out, blow my nose, wipe my ass, and start putting this thing together. So, last week, again, we hit about 45 views. We're averaging between 40 and 50. I'd say I have to sit here and watch this thing maybe 20 times on the algorithm just to get it to move. So I figured there's maybe 20 extra views I got. And I'm still, if you're watching, if you give me a thumbs down, thank you. I think last week I got 1 or 2 again. Thank you. That's a view. If you took long enough to give me a thumbs down, you gave me long enough a view for that to count on the algorithm. Hit the like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Even leaving comments will help the cause with the algorithm and help this thing move along a little bit. So, get my thing going here. It's Veterans Day, guys. All my vets out there. British Army salute. Salute all my vets out there today. So, we'll get some music going here. And we'll see what we got for Vets Day today. What's going on here? So, do you like them big, fat, juicy snakes or these little bitty baby things? We've got videos of some man killers. Absolute man killers. Big, fat, juicy rattlers. Happy Veterans Day, guys. I was a Cold War guy. Not everybody that serves in the military fights in a war and that. And there's a lot of people that don't fight in wars that end up getting hurt and dying. And there's, like life, there's no fucking credit. My dad was a draft dodger back in the early 60s. In fact, when he was being called up, he could have avoided Vietnam. He was right there on that line where they're getting ready to ship. Yeah, he could have avoided, but this guy could make $100,000 a year, no problem. He was a 33-degree Mason, but when he went to take the SMART test, he was too stupid to be a Navy cook. This guy was too stupid to carry a fucking rifle, okay? Then out pops me later in life. So me and my dad could never get along, right? Because he never understood what I went through. See, I enlisted on the delayed entry back in 1982. I just turned 18, I had a motorcycle wreck. I got in a bunch of fucking trouble, almost ended up in jail. My stepdad bailed me out, but that had its consequences. He was a drunk sailor. He did 10 years in the Navy, and trust me, it was like living with Archie Bunker. It showed I was in deep shit, so I had to leave home for a couple weeks, and then I think that November, I enlisted in the Army on the delayed entry program. All they had back then for information were these little brochures or maybe a magazine. We didn't have information like we did today. In fact, if I had the information today, I would have maybe made a different choice, chose a different career path, I would have done things a lot different, but I had a little thing here and it said Rangers, long range, live out in the woods, go walking through water and carry a machine gun. Well, looked cool to me. The thinking back then, though, was this. You could still maybe put your 20 years in and retire, and that's an idea. Or another thought I had, too, is just carry a rifle for a couple years out in the woods and figure out life. This was something even we figured out back then. The minute you got off the bus, they were trying to kick you out. And once you got to your regular unit, you started realizing that this could be a waste of time in life. Because there was guys there 5-6 years in with nothing to show for it. One guy in particular, he was a specialist. If he wasn't going to make sergeant in the next year or two, they were going to kick his ass out. He's like 24, 25 years old, and what have you got to show for your life, bro? This? Nothing. When we got out in the civilian world, we found out that we weren't so badass like we thought we were. I honestly thought, man, just even saying I was a paratrooper would carried some respect, maybe a little fear and respect. Nah, when I got out here, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Imagine living in a society. I always said the Army was like jail without the bars. It has its own little rules and regulations. You have people running things behind the scenes. We've got one guy that would come into your room and throw you around, a little wall-to-wall counseling. Oh, if you went against the grain and pissed off a fucking barracks full of guys, that could have some very detrimental consequences to your health. I know one guy, he had a fish tank in our room, and they'd get an electric cord, put some wires in there, and drop it in the fish tank. It'd go, psst, and these fish would be scratching around. The poor little fish had a little burn mark on his head. Shit like that. One guy chickened out of a jump, and that is something you just did not do. Shows up at the drop zone with a girlfriend, and what's really fucked up is this, it was a helicopter jump, and the helicopter broke when it came there. This one guy, not wanting to jump, shows up at a drop zone with a girlfriend in tow and a broken down helicopter. It caused some resentment and anxiety back at the barracks. I had a 6-pack of Lowenbrau on the ground, and the guy that would come in and throw you around the room, he picked up my beer, threw it on the ground, broke it all, and I couldn't do nothing about it. I couldn't say nothing about it, just, okay, cleaned up the mess and went and got another 6-pack. He gave me, when things settled down, he was nice and bought me a couple beers, but, there's so much anger that it just, you just didn't say nothing. One thing the recruiter said, I never ever dropped out of a run in basic training or even at jump school. There was a little airborne shuffle. The recruiter would have told me that once you got to your real unit, you're doing 6-minute Ranger miles. I'm not a runner. I would have definitely done something different. Oh yeah, the 6-minute runs. Another thing I found out too, through enlisting and serving my country, is that you're going to fail somewhere. The first time I failed, man, it was a kick to the pride, kick to your nuts, whatever you want to call it. And it has a way of knocking you down a few tiers. I never failed anything till I got to jump school. I'm afraid of heights. I will admit that. I was scared to fuck of heights. I even tried to quit, but they talked me out of it. I wish I would have went through it because I could have had a better job. I think everybody that left jump school went to Fort Ord, California. They were dressed up like Russian aggressors playing war games. That would have been a hell lot better than what the fuck I was going to end up to. Now, scared to death. It took me 3 jump weeks. I got through the training, but after that 5th jump at the school, I didn't want to do it no more, but I'm under contract. So I almost got killed doing a jump back in March of 1984. Long story short, I blacked out and flipped. I hit the ramp, I guess. I was flipping through the air, and I forgot to turn into the wind when I hit the drop zone, and I landed more than 20 miles an hour like a sack of shit. I had a sergeant, and his name, no shit, was Charlie Brown. Comes in, calls me a dirtbag, low-life piece of shit, and I'm worthless, and if I'm hurt, I deserved it. I got up. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. Strike. There's another couple strikes. And then, after a while, if you can't run, you start to lose heart, and then, you start to be a little more insubordinate. Yeah, I've got all kinds of insubordination, lost heart, failed a PT test. I just didn't give a fuck. The happiest day I think it was is when I finally said, you're out of here, go away. And it was like, cool. Now I'm 20 years old and I can start my life now. And it worked out great because that year, I got home in 1985, our Kansas City Royals, I just turned 21. I could go to the liquor store and buy beer legally now. And our hometown team, the Kansas City Royals, they're winning a fucking World Series, man. One last story and we'll get to the Snakes. I'd just been out of the Army for 2 weeks. This was January 1985. And the next thing I know, I am in Kemper Arena on the floor. And guess who I'm watching? Deep Purple. I caught Deep Purple on their last tour. And it was a great show. It gave me a little extra time, too, with my mom because she was murdered in February of 1988. And if I would have done my full time and everything worked or even re-enlisted, I'd have never had that time with my mom. So enough of veterans bullshit and fairy tales. Let's do some Snakes and Benny and get the hell out of here. I tell you guys every week, you got to get your Sabbath seal on so you can be part of that Airborne Rangers Special Forces 144,000 unit up there in the sky. You need to get your anointing on to keep you nice and healthy down here. But the Sabbath, sundown Friday, sundown Saturday, it's never changed. Ask a Jew, ask one of these Seventh-day Adventist things running around at a general conference, whatever, or find somebody at a camp meeting. They'll tell you what the Sabbath day is. Again, do what you want to do. We live in a world today where we're all above the law. We all can question authority. So, I mean, if you can sit there and disrespect a cop, disrespect law in general, disrespect society, well, you probably wouldn't give a fuck about God's law anyway. Now, let's be for real. You're going to do your thing when you want to fucking do it. So, orange salute, protection from that devil. Hit the like and subscribe. Tell other vile sinners about us. And appreciate the time you spend with me here. Thank you very much. Now, wonder what I got for Benny, because you know how it is. 15 minutes, I run out of time. And now watch this guy. He comes up and he's going to fight it. He's already fallen down. Pick this guy up. He's already wasted. Get him, Benny. Now I'm already seeing Black Friday popping up. Black Friday specials. Black Friday. Is that racist? Is that racist calling Black Friday Black Friday? Oh God, don't call it White Friday. And then here's another thing. Are the thugs gonna rush the store, break into it, and go down the Walmart aisle and steal all the Black Friday or racist Friday sale items and steal it and not pay for it? It's going to be interesting this year how that's going to work out. A fountain. There't not even peace on the planet for Christmas. A fountain. Oh, hey, sunshine. It frees the soul. Benny's a man. We're going to kill it at 14 minutes today. Mass casualties. Thank you for watching. Hit the like and subscribe. Tell others about us. We're a unique thing here. Y'all have a great day.